the failure, in my estimation, of primary schools to deliver students who are literate, fully literate, to the secondary level, and that failure continues. And so we actually generate every year a pool of about 26,000, between 26 and 35,000 students who don't qualify for anything. And we have done a study on that. And it's very sad because that's a flow into your human resource reservoir in the labor force every year. So of the 52,000 students within the population of age 16, that cohort, between 26 and 35, have no form of qualification whatsoever. 26,000 have absolutely no form of qualification. 35 and the remaining 10,000 or so have 2 or less subjects. So they couldn't matriculate, as you have said, to anything. They couldn't go to college. They couldn't get a job easily in the work world. What we have decided to do is to use the resources of HEART, JFLL, and the National Youth Service, and the schools to cater to that pool of students. We are starting early next year a program called the Careers Advancement Program. We have identified 10 schools. It will be run for 1 year as a pilot. It will cater to students who would have left high school but who could not matriculate to sixth form or to a tertiary institution. It will be heavily competence-based, vocational-based, applications-based. It will be geared towards empowering those persons who are accepted into the program, towards making them functional in the workplace with skills. So the program will be designed to cater for those students who are virtually illiterate for their grade level, to bring them up to a level of competence in literacy so that they can acquire knowledge. It will cater to developing an attitude towards work and society and family and social relations that would be amenable to the society. It will also cater to developing a certain level of knowledge. So we will still emphasize that they demonstrate some competences in mathematics, English, social studies, and a science subject. For those students who have subjects at the CAPE or at the CSEC level, then we will look at empowering them with workplace skills and indeed giving them marketable skills that they can integrate rapidly into the workplace. So we have identified some areas in which we think that they would have great opportunities. For example, we are planning to expand the teacher's aid cohort, which is now run by the NYS. So we want to develop a cohort of about 5,000 young persons who we could place in the primary schools to support the teachers from the earlier grades up to grade 4 to support the delivery of a literacy curriculum and to support what we intend to launch later on next year, a homework program. So that's the idea. We intend also to conduct a course in practical nursing, but not the practical nursing which we understand in the Jamaican context, but more so to get those students geared for the export market. There is a growing market in North America for caregivers and nurses, and that's one of the areas in which we intend to train for. We intend to expand our training in early childhood care. That's one area. We intend to expand our training in security. Not many people know this, but the police have grave difficulty in recruiting men because they just don't have enough qualified persons. So that's an area of vocation in which we intend to train in. In hospitality, that's another area. So the idea is to train them in skills that they can either integrate into the labor market here or be exported to other markets.
We're particularly interested, of course, having put a proposal on the table for going forward with a report card system to increase accountability in the Jamaican educational system. We'd like to invite comments on moving forward with that.
I want to know to what extent do we have board chairmen with the caliber leadership to make schools accountable, and to inquire as to whether a national audit has been done, whether all our schools are served by school boards, and whether the cluster board concept is being considered. I notice the minister has placed a lot of emphasis on a chain of accountability involving the chairman. And secondly, I just want to make a comment here regarding the national report card, that we already have a good idea of the ratings of our national report card. So what I'm really interested in at this time is in the improvement of some major elements that would form a report card. Therefore, the way forward should be looking at a progressive approach. For example, baseline data, to my knowledge, is very limited, as CaPRI has indicated, and international indicators. We do have some data, but we have to look to see how well they measure up to international indicators. As we would not want to just looking at Jamaican situation, we would like to cross-analyze and see how we're faring with the rest of the world. My interest really is in the value-added report card, which is the one that is under development. And I am viewing UNICEF, I'm representing UNICEF here, I'm viewing UNICEF introduction of the CFS, which is a child-friendly school initiative, as a direct impact on the value-added area, as it involves looking at the non-traditional areas, as the minister indicated, that needs to be looked at, like the values and attitude, the HFLE, which are areas sometimes in our school, but they're not tested, they're not graded, and form a very important aspect for the world of work. And my last thing, the minister has not really said in definite terms whether a national report card would be a consideration for Jamaica. And if this is so, how does he see it vis-a-vis the value added that I see as being so important that would influence the national report card?